So this entire morning, I've been scrolling on social media and I ended up in this rabbit hole of government deception and how it's actually taking the lives of Americans in our country. I'm starting to realize that people are just fed up, bro. Tired of the lies, tired of the smoking mirrors, tired, like just tired of the shenanigans. I genuinely feel like living in the United States is like being in a toxic relationship where you're constantly being manipulated, cheated on, lied to. It's like you want to leave, but you can't because you know the pain of leaving would be greater. And I feel like that's how so many Americans are feeling nowadays, especially with the way that things are going. I came across this video titled Millions of Americans Are Angry with Where the Country is Heading. And I feel like this speaks for a lot of people, bro. Check this out.
You guys see that shit out in Oregon where they want to ban hunting and fishing? What in the is going on in this country? I mean, between that, these data centers, the ridiculous amounts of taxes that get extorted from us daily.
Extorted is the right word.
How did we get here? What are we doing? It is beyond time for us to go to Washington, D.C. and drag these out by their head and all up. Dude, they are taking everything from us. And we just keep sitting here and letting it happen. Going to work every day, paying these ridiculous taxes. And then every time you get a bill in the mail, it's sky high. When are we going to stop it?
So in the 4 years since I bought my house, my property taxes have increased 30%. If American citizens can pay taxes based on the value of their home, why can't billionaires pay taxes based on the value of their assets?
Where's our money? Where is our money? The DOJ just announced that they have arrested 455 people accused of medical fraud in 45 different states. The medical fraud that they have uncovered equals over $6 billion.
Damn.
In a separate case, the FBI has uncovered over 12,000 cases of real estate fraud. That fraud is estimated at $275 million. The Social Security Department has uncovered billions of dollars of fraud for fake housing programs in different states, giving away money to people that needed housing that actually did not. And then Doge. Do you remember when Doge was a big thing with Elon Musk, who supposedly uncovered $200 million of fraud, and we were supposed to get like a kickback because it's all of our money? Over $800 billion of taxpayer money has been going to these fake programs, allowing people in the medical industry to file claims that aren't real. All of this goes back to us. We're the taxpayers funding all of these programs. And I don't know about you, but I don't have a check in my mailbox. And they say, oh, yeah,
One thing I realized is that if you're at the bottom of the socioeconomic scale or at the top of the socioeconomic scale, you're good. But everybody in the middle always gets screwed, bro. Always. It's like it always falls back of the middle class of America to fund all of the rich programs and to fund all of the healthcare programs, the Medicaid programs for the lower spectrum of the socioeconomic scale. The people in the middle always get it the hardest, bro. And it's really tough to say. My biggest thing is either be comfortable making no money and live off the government, or find a way to make as much money as you can so you do not fall into that middle spectrum. You have two choices. Be comfortable with no money and government funding, which they can control you, or make so much money that you can't be controlled and you don't get affected like this, bro. It's tough, but
we made all these arrests. We're bringing all these people to justice. That's great. But where's our money?
Okay, this one makes me mad as hell.
Because it seems like it always boils down to money. Like everyone ever complaining in these videos is always about money.
And it shows our government doesn't give a shit about us. You know how we were all excited about Toyota showing this little $8,000 truck? It'd be a great little work truck or just a cheap transportation. Brand new truck for $8,000. That's what they run in China. And they were going to start selling them over here. And our Congress went out of its way to pass a bill and block any of these little trucks or vehicles from coming over here. And you know it's because our big auto industry here lobbied them, gave them some gifts, got them to vote their direction. But so now we don't get the benefit of having some cheap vehicles that with great gas mileage that work just as good as these $80,000 trucks. So now, I mean, they just keep us in perpetual debt. So thank you, Congressman and your senators for keeping you in poverty and not allowing world trade. I don't get.
So after helping hundreds of people get results just like this, I'm going to be giving you guys access to the entire business system that allows you to make money directly from your phone. It's 2026, guys. I think that we both already know that starting an automated online business is the best opportunity to create financial freedom and the peace of mind that you are looking for. And let's just say that you decide to take the next step. I'll even send you over a discount code so that is risk-free. It's time to stop watching other people make millions and start creating the life that you want for yourself. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in our next group call. But let's get back to this video.
I applied for a job.
Bro.
They gave me the job and I said to them, I do not want any tax or CPP deducted from my check. You guys pay me exactly what I'm owed. Okay? $40 an hour, 40 hours, pay me the $1,600. That's what I want. I'm not paying for a politician to take 10 months a year off and do absolutely nothing but ruin the economy and make other people's life absolute misery and then send the balance of the money to another country. I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying to work. You're only on the earth for a very, very short time, very, very short period. And
Facts.
You spending 80% of your time supporting someone else is absolutely asinine.
It's insane, bro.
And you know what? The government's only answer to people not wanting to work to pay tax is they're going to throw you in jail. I welcome that. I welcome going to jail. You kidding me? 3 meals a day.
I like my freedom. I don't want to worry about who's watching me while I take a shower, I don't want to have to worry about not being able to eat my eggs in the morning, not being able to get my nice little turkey bacon. I like going to Starbucks from time to time. You know what I'm saying? I like Friday nights, go get some steak. I like, you can go to jail, my boy. I like freedom.
Roof over my head, free clothes, there's a library I can read, there's online, there's video games. I don't know, that sounds like summer camp. That doesn't sound like jail.
So go to jail, brother. So go.
That sounds like fun.
So go.
My father-in-law is 93 years old. He'll be 94 soon. And he likes to talk about the years that he worked at a local plant manufacturer here in town as his best years. That's all he wanted to do, that everybody wanted to work for this company. And the company, like a lot of companies, how it used to be, had pensions. He has been retired now from that company more years than he worked there, and he gets a pension check every single month. And he says that when he worked there in the 70s and 80s and all that if you called out sick and you had a sick day, the employer paid you more on that day because they assumed you had more expenses like doctor's visits.
Damn, that's very kind.
So I think
that's very kind.
Those types of examples are really important to remember, that those pensions and unions and those benefits that were paid to employees because employers respected them as part of a thriving middle class, those protections don't exist anymore. And so when older generations say, well, just do what we did and you work hard and you pull yourself up and it doesn't exist anymore. But they had it. And isn't that nice?
This is your sign to stop paying your credit cards. Okay? Now, This is not medical advice by any means, but it's important for you to know that my credit cards have not been paid in many, many, many months, and whose credit score is going up? Yeah, this girl. This girl! So it's all a scam. It's all numbers. Money is not real. It is just numbers on a freaking screen at this point. And same with the credit score. Numbers on a screen that go up and down like a teeter-totter. And sometimes when you...
All right, well, let me just say, I got to cut her off. For all my people watching this video, when it comes to taking financial advice, whether it's credit, whether it's capital building, whether it's investing, when it comes to taking financial advice, you should take financial advice from people who are in a place that you want to be financially. All right? You don't take financial advice from a guy who's living out of a cardboard box. You don't do that. You don't take financial advice from a guy who's struggling. You take financial advice from a person who is financially independent, financially literate. If you take advice, financial advice from someone who is not financially where you want to be, then whatever financial advice they give you, you will end up there with them as well. They can't get you to where you want to be because they aren't there themselves, bro. Like, I don't know, bro.
You're teeter-tottering in the way that you've been taught is best. Okay, this is going to increase my score. Boom, it goes down. So what I'm telling you today is it will literally pay off for you to have more freedom and stop caring so much about paying those credit card bills. Stop. Just stop paying them. Again, absolutely not medical advice.
You know, I am so
She
frustrated.
keeps saying medical. You mean financial? Like, it does.
My mother is 78 years old. She worked her entire life. She paid into Social Security and Medicare for decades, never missing a payment, believing it would be there for her when she needed it most. Her Social Security check was about $1,400 a month. Not nearly enough to survive on, and now they're no longer paying her Medicare Part B. So after her Medicare Part B premium is deducted, she's left with around $1,200. Her rent alone is $800. That leaves her with just $400 to cover everything else: food, medication, transportation. You know, she stands in the grocery store comparing prices down to the penny, putting items back because she cannot afford them. Some days she skips meals to make sure her groceries last longer.
That's sad, bro.
Tell me how
sad, bro.
she's supposed to pay for groceries, prescription, and everything else on what's left. Meanwhile, Americans watch billions of tax dollars being spent on housing, health care, and other services for illegal immigrants. And you also have a massive amount of these illegals who've come here and stolen money from the taxpayers through fraud. So our hardworking seniors have just been pushed to the back of the line. Our elderly shouldn't have to struggle after a lifetime of working and paying into the system. They deserve security, dignity, and to know their own government puts them first. It's time to start taking care of the Americans who spent their lives taking care of this country. And don't even get me started on the vets and how they're treated.
Millennials are so nostalgic because we got a taste of the world before everything became a subscription, an algorithm, or a monthly payment. People want to make fun of us for being nostalgic. Of course we are. We remember when hanging out wasn't content. Pictures weren't proof. And the internet was just a place that you visited, not where you lived. We lived through 17 different versions of society. We had a childhood where our parents kicked us outside and said, be home when the streetlights come on. Then suddenly we had to learn email, rank our friends on MySpace top 8. then Facebook, then Instagram, then TikTok. Now somehow my refrigerator needs Wi-Fi. We had landlines, then flip phones, then Blackberries, then iPhones. And now my phone is editing my photos, answering my questions, and judging me on my screen time. We learned cursive. And then they said, you know what, never mind. We memorized phone numbers. Now we refuse to even pick up the phone. We use MapQuest, printed out directions. You made one wrong turn, you ended up in Nebraska. We survived enough technological updates that now when I hear, here's a new feature, I know that I'm gonna have to teach my parents and my children how to use it. We're not nostalgic because we're old. We're nostalgic because we've had to relearn how to be a human every 5 years.
So I work at a restaurant, as many of you know, and last night I was working my dinner shift, and my first table is I give them the check, and then I come up to collect the check and like take their payment, and the woman's on her phone, and she's like, oh, like I'm just paying the bill on my phone. And I'm like, what do you mean you're just paying on your phone? Because like we don't have anything like that. She's like, oh yeah, I just went to your website and I was able to like pay on my phone, like through your website, like you just enter your check number. Like, what? So I like go check in with management. Apparently it's some new system that was like implemented like very recently, but it like kind of doesn't have anything to do with us. I don't know. I wasn't fully clear on like the whole thing, but
maybe you should get clear. Maybe you should get clear. If this is something that as a waitress you're noticing happen, it's your job to inform yourself on the transition that's occurring. Because if you're saying that people can pay online, then why would they pay you tip? Is the tip going to be online? How is the tip going to get collected? Is the tip going to have a deduction for platform fees? Are you going to get taxed on that tip? Is it going to be a cash tip? Is it going to be a digital? You should know what is going on. You should inform yourself on what's going on. Not just be like, oh, I didn't know. So, I mean, it is what it is. Like, no, learn.
Just like really freaked me out because so people can now get their bill at the table and then pay on the app and just, I mean, I guess tip like whatever. But there's also like some monetary reward, and like if you use this payment system. And not only that, but if you download like this app, in order to use this app at different restaurants, you have to give them your credit card information. And I just really feel like we are just at such a point in society where it's just everything is so out of hand technologically. Like, can we not just like go out to eat? Just like simple. Like everything has to.
I mean, how would you pay for it if you don't put your credit card information on? How would you pay for it online if you don't put your credit card information? You can't pay cash online. That doesn't really make sense. But look, yeah, that's besides the point. The whole point of this video is that people are fed up with the way that this country is being run. And time again, they're showing us, they meaning the government, that they really don't care about us. Honestly speaking, we just did an entire video on Peter Thiel on how he's trying to create like this new dystopian of a world where only billionaires have say-so, remove government officials, remove democracy. Let's just let money control people. And I mean, hey, it is what it is. But I always think that you being informed on what's going on and you actually taking the time to learn and see the changes and try to adapt, not necessarily agree with it. You don't have to agree with anything, but adapt accordingly. Because you can sit here and say F taxes, F taxes, F taxes, just like the guy in the beginning of the video, and then you end up in jail. And now it's F your freedom and F your booty and F your stomach. And now it's F everything else because you decide to say F taxes instead of learning how to avoid taxes legally. The same way that politicians and millionaires and billionaires do it, you learn the same rules. The rules exist for you as well. The same rules that applies to them are the same rules that apply to you. You just need to learn them. They know them. Learn them. A lot of people always like to say ignorance is bliss. No, ignorance is stupidity. That is what keeps people stuck. You not knowing things is what keeps people trapped. The more you know, the more you can adapt. The more you know, the more you can improve. The less you know, the less capable you are of growing. The less you know, the less capable you are of creating change in your life. Information is so important, but the application of the knowledge is what changes your life. If you never apply it, you will never change. But if you never learn, you will never know. And you will never understand that there's more out there for you. And you will be in this perpetual cycle of blaming the government, or blaming your boss, or blaming the phone, or blaming your neighbor, or blaming everybody else except for yourself. But the moment you realize that your life change is dependent on who you are and how you think and what you believe, that's when everything can get better for you. You just have to decide. I'm going to end this video here. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe. And I'm going to catch you on the next one, man. Peace.